Hello, this is Tonya from Tonya Davidson Jewelry, and today's short video is all about how to hold your work while you're setting a stone, engraving, doing a bit of chasing, or even some stippling. So these are the kinds of tools you're going to need. You're going to need a basic vise that you're able to attach your plate into. This is the GRS vise that fits into your GRS cleat system. It swivels and it also tightens down here with this mechanism on the side. It is used to hold some kind of T-plate. Now there are several T-plates available on the market. This one is just your basic shellac T-plate. You can either use it with shellac or other materials, which I'll show you in a minute, or you can use a CNC piece of wood. This is going to be more difficult to find. You're going to have to find somebody with a CNC machine that can make this for you. I don't recommend trying to cut a square piece of wood because it's actually never going to be square, and when you tighten it down in the jaws, it probably won't fit. Plus, most of these jaws don't open wide enough for a piece of wood this size. It only opens wide enough for something like this. So the best place to get these T-plates is at cpruitttools.com. He provides these in 4 sizes. You can either buy them individually or as a set, and for a limited time you can use a coupon code to get a discount. So I have the small, the medium, the large, and the extra large. When you get these, you're going to want to scratch them up either with a burr or a cutoff disc, which I've done, and I've even drilled a couple of holes, 4 holes staggered in there, so that when I heat up the work hold material, I can press it down into the holes and it won't slide off. The other thing you can do is kind of wrap it around the edges, and that will also hold a little bit. So let's go over all of the different ways, different materials that you can use as work hold. This is called Jet Basic. It is a thermoplastic that you heat up in hot water or with a heat gun. I prefer a heat gun, and this is my favorite. It's the Wagner. It's available on Tonya Recommends, and I'll provide the link for that. It is nice because it has a stand, but the stand is also will flatten down, so you don't have to use it. So you can sit it up on its ends like this to be able to heat things in tweezers for patina or whatever, and then also to be able to use it like this as a regular handheld gun that will heat it up. So I heat up the material onto the plate like this, heating it up, and then I'll squish it and form it, and then I'll place my piece in there, and when I'm finished engraving or stone setting, I just heat it back up with the heat gun and remove it with tweezers. Normally everything will peel off of the piece as far as the work hold material. There are a few that you may have to soak, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. So the heat gun comes in handy. I don't like to boil water and then stick my hands in it to get the materials out, or use tweezers to get out and have water all over my tools like my vise and things like that. So I prefer the heat gun for this purpose. So this is called Jet Basic, but the problem with Jet Basic is it tends to want to get brittle when it gets hot. So the next material that they came up with was called Jet Ballistic, and Jet Ballistic has Kevlar in it. It's difficult to get right now, but hopefully it'll be available soon again. So that Kevlar in there allows it to take more heat without breaking up or becoming brittle. It is a little bit more expensive, but it works the same way. You heat it with your heat gun, or you put it into boiling water or very hot water. It doesn't have to be boiling. This is a different kind of shellac plate. I don't know if these are available anymore, but the reason why I'm showing it is I built this up into sort of like a volcano to be able to put earring posts in here. When it's hot, I'll just poke a tool like my burnisher in there to make a hole, put my earring back in there, and then close it up against the earring post, and that will support my earring post and my earring while I'm setting a stone in it. Then I heat it up with the heat gun and just pull it out and remove it. So that's another nice way to do it. This is a hot glue stick from your dollar store, and I like to use this on my shellac plates because it's a very nice, inexpensive, cheap work hold that doesn't break loose, and it if it sticks to your piece, it's super simple to get off. Mostly I just pull off what I can, and then whatever I can't, I don't bother with, and I just take it and put it into a container with goof off. Not goo gone, but goof off. This is what the label looks like. And when I soak it in here, it will remove all adhesive, including the hot glue. So it just takes it right off of the piece, and that works really nicely for any kind of adhesive. And then I just take the piece out of the goof off and wipe it off and rinse it off, and it's good to go. So hot glue is one of my favorites. You can also simply apply super glue to your piece, and then I would stick that onto a piece of brass or copper and then work hold it to the back of this. Super glue works really nice to get things off, and the way you release it is just flash a little bit of heat over it and it will release the glue. So that's another option for you. The next option is this carpet tape. And so all you do is put a little piece on and take off the cover and then stick your piece on it. And when you're done with this, you can just heat it up with your heat gun and peel it off. It is really super sticky, so it's a really nice work hold, and it will even hold pieces of metal so that you can hammer and texture on them without hitting your fingers. So it's a really great tool to have, and this is also in Tonya Recommends. I highly recommend it. It's hard to find locally, so you want to get it from the Tonya Recommends link. The next one is another type of adhesive. This is also going to be removed with a heat gun. So you peel back the coating. It's super sticky. It's an industrial tape. It's not inexpensive. This is why I don't usually use this one. It's made by Scotch, and it's called Extreme Double-Sided Mounting Tape. Again, to get the piece off of here, you would need to use your heat gun to soften it and pull it off with your tweezers. But it is a really nice way to hold things while you're working on them. So that's another option. Sometimes I will just put some carpet tape on here, close this up, make a hole in it, and I'll put my earrings in here because that's going to be enough to hold the back plate of the earrings if I have a back plate on the earrings. If it's just a setting, it's not going to work. You'll probably want to do something like this, but if you have a back plate with a post on it, this works great with some carpet tape on top of this. So I put the blue tape on there just to make it easier to peel off, and then I put the carpet tape right over this, poke some holes in the carpet tape, and put the earring post through there, and then tighten this down till it's sort of holding that post but not squishing it. So that's another option. So these are all the ways that I do the work holding, and it makes it really easy to be able to set something. So I'm just going to show you how I heat that up. And then let it set up, and you're ready to go and set your stone or do whatever engraving you're going to do to the piece. So these are some great ideas for you that are easy for you to work hold and to get your job done. If you have patina on your piece, I would wrap some tape around the backside, some painter's tape, and then stick it into the work hold material, and that way it won't remove your patina on the other side.